Well, as we always say, health and well-being of everyone's more important than anything else, including football, Paul. So I'll ask that straight off. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, they seem okay. Everyone's certainly back in work. Obviously, we had numerous cases. One or two were iller than others. I don't think anyone's been, to the point where we were really concerned. The worry from my point of view is just how people are fitness-wise. I don't think we know enough about that. We've had to train to a certain level, like ease the lads back in, then we've done a little bit more. So that's positive, as in at least we've got a few training days in. But I think we'll know a game is very different than just training. And looking at a couple of clubs that have had issues, I think the results I've looked at and think they haven't been great for him. And again, people think you're looking for excuses, but I think genuinely no one can say for certain how the players are going to be. So after the layoff, you just hope that there's a big effort from everyone. And again, after this game, we do have a little bit of a break before we play again to try and monitor and I guess assess how we got through the this first game.
Yeah. When were you able to get the majority of the squad back together
then? On the 20th. So we managed to get 3 days training.
That cut out. I got 20 and then didn't get it. So just answer that again.
I'll try it. Yeah, sure. We got back in on the 29th, everybody. So we managed to have kind of 3 days training. I'm sure, as you can understand, the first day was very much just easing the players back in, just to check that they were okay. And they've been given programs to do away from here. We've kept on top of that, but you are putting a bit of trust in people, which, I'd like to think they've all completed that work. But again, it's not the same, because if it was, well, we'd kind of just play games and just let them do the work away from here. So it remains to be seen, like I said, how we are. But I think what we are doing is certainly looking forward to the game.
Yeah, of course, which you should be, and we'll talk about the game in a bit as well. For you as a manager then, what have these last 2 weeks been like?
It's been strange, quite difficult. I think the last game we played, which was a Stockport game, and again, not an excuse, but I feel like I was managing a proper team, or it was a scenario that you're in. It was kind of get through the game and see what was going to happen next. And the next couple of days, it was a lot of the time spent on the phone and kind of waiting. We sort of cancelled trip. We were due to be in on the Sunday. We cancelled that. We were due to be on the Monday. We cancelled that to try and kind of buy a bit of time to see if it was going to spread any further and to see if there were any decisions were going to be made. And I think it was the Tuesday we then found out that we were going to be closed down. So that's the start of that, was kind of, like I say, waiting for information and also ringing around to try and find out exactly where everyone was. Then a couple of days, I think, just trying to do what you can away from being in work and in contact with players, so other parts of the job. Then you get to sort of Christmas. I guess we have all managed to have a little bit more time, sort of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, to a point where you're not you're not being sidetracked or your mind's drifting, thinking we're playing and exactly what we're going to do. And then you're back into it, as in making sure everyone's all right, ready to return. Been and watched a couple of games, and also obviously we're looking towards January and the window opening and trying to find out who's available and what certain situations are. that again I think is going to prove very difficult because of the current situation that a lot of clubs are finding themselves in.
To this game, and Halifax, who could have been the clear leaders, but for a late goal against Chesterfield heading into this game. How do you see it?
Yeah. Very, very tough. I'd like to think give credit where it's due and honest about people and clubs. And for me, I think you have to give Halifax and Pete Wild and his players, a lot of credit. They are probably the exception, being right up there in terms of resources available to them. That, as you said, I was at the game, thought they were outstanding first half, second half, the game changed in terms of territory. They had to dig in more. But for a late goal, as you said, could have gone top of the league. And I've been fortunate. I've watched the last 3 games live because of when they've been. And being impressed every time with them. I think again they've got sort of a continuity with the team and the way that they play. So they've done really, really well. And at this stage, I would say, not taking anything away from you, Chesterfields, Bromley, Boreham Wood, Stockport, etc., all those that are up there. I think it's stopped right now at the team of the season today. All things thrown into the mix and considered. So we know it's going to be tough. I think they have a control. They have quite a bit of fluidity around the front players and the movements, and can keep the ball really well. So yeah, we're going to have to put a good performance to get something from this game. And people might not want to hear that, but that's where we're are currently. And as I said, I'm not so sure what we're going to get from our players, just on a physical level, never mind anything else. But I know that the intent will be there, which is the most important thing going into the game. And then we'll have to see how it's played out. I'd like to think there'll be a good crowd there. Obviously the cameras are there, and we got to try and draw some inspiration from that.
Best of luck with it, Paul, and hope it's a happy new year for you.
Cheers, Mike. Same to you. Happy New Year.